The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new channel. Here to help you see the new you. My name is Wanlu, and this is the Puppet Stories. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is August 18. It's the Tuesday edition of the Puppet Stories. Uh, on the Puppet Stories, we talk about anyone or anything that has to do with puppets. We talk about puppetry arts, puppetry forms, puppets, puppeteers, puppet plays, puppet stages, puppet festivals, puppet makers, anything that has to do with puppets. And we're very lucky because this afternoon we have a special guest from Tel Aviv, Israel. But before we introduce her, we'd like to remind you about what we had, who we had last week. We had our good friend from Indonesia, Budi Haha, ventriloquist from Indonesia. We had fun talking to him and discussing about ventriloquism in Indonesia. We'd like to remind you as well, ladies and gentlemen, that August is buwan ng wikang pambansa. Kaya po mamaya, the latter part of the show, we will continue reading Ang Batang Gustong Maging Puppet. Later, we will be talking about, we will be reading the part which I wrote, the last part of the part that I wrote. And next week, God willing, we will be reading the part where the three children wrote, which the three children wrote. It's basically the ending of the book. So do join us this afternoon when we read the last part of the part that I wrote, and on Friday, God willing, the ending part of the book which the three children wrote. Okay, August, ladies and gentlemen, is also National Breastfeeding Awareness Month. So I'd like to remind the mommies and the dads, all the parents out there with babies, breast milk is still best for babies. And August is also Buwan ng Kasaysayan, the month of Philippine history. So let's remember all the things that happened in our history. Mahalaga po na alam natin ang mga bagay-bagay na nangyari sa ating kasaysayan. Incidentally, on August 21, we are celebrating the 83rd anniversary of Proclamation 173, proclaimed by President Manuel L. Quezon, which opened the doors of the Philippines to our Jewish friends. Okay? And again, that's August 21, 83rd anniversary of Proclamation 173, opening the doors of the Philippines to our Jewish friends. Actually, that proclamation even extended to our Spanish friends who fled Spain during the Spanish War, and even to our Vietnamese friends who fled Vietnam during the Vietnam War. And tomorrow, August 19, incidentally, is the birthday of President Manuel L. Quezon. That's right, August 19, the president of MLQ, President Manuel L. Quezon. Okay, also happening this month is the Harmony International Puppetry Festival. That will be on August 28, 29, and 30. We will have 7 countries participating in that festival. We will have Laos, as they call it, Myanmar, Malaysia, Taiwan, Japan, Thailand, and of course, the Philippines. And the Philippines will be represented by my family. We will be performing on August 29. It will be live streamed. Our performance will be live and it will be live streamed on the Harmony Puppet page. If you want to know more about it, please do join us on August 25. Our guest will be Stephen Thomas. We will be talking about the festival in detail. All right. In the meantime, it's time to introduce our special guest for today. She is a playwright, the co-founder of the Key Theater in Tel Aviv, Israel. Please welcome Dikla Katz. Dikla, hi.
Hello, hi.
Hi, good afternoon in the Philippines. I believe it's good morning in Israel.
Yeah, good late morning in Israel. Exactly.
All right, all right. So, first things first, Dikla, thank you very much for being in the show. It's such an honor for the Puppet Stories to have you on the show. And what time is it in Israel?
In Israel now it's 12 noontime. And also
Oh,
yeah, thank you for
12.
inviting me.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Especially in those days when the sky are closed. So we have still this opportunity to meet online. So it's great to be here. Thank you.
Actually, it's an honor for us to have you here. Thank you. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Now, it's 12 noon in Israel. It's late afternoon in Manila. It's 5 p.m. How's the weather in Israel?
Hot and humid as always in the summer. And actually, right now I'm sitting in our studio, which is 2 minutes away from the beach. So it's super humid and
I
hot.
see.
Yeah,
Wow.
but it's like that in August.
That must be a nice studio because it's a couple of minutes from the beach. Hopefully, I'd visit your studio one of these days because I don't know if you know, Filipinos can go to Israel without a visa. Did you know that?
Yeah, I do know
Yeah.
that. And I also would like
Right.
to refer to what you mentioned before about our mutual history, about your president in the past that opens the door of the Philippines to the Jewish people that fled. And I also have a comic book about it that was written. Um, so I think that also mutual history and mutual future is something that I appreciate a lot.
Yes, and incidentally, it's the 83rd anniversary on Friday, and tomorrow, President Manuel L. Quezon's birthday. What a coincidence!
Yeah, it
Okay,
is.
okay, let's talk about puppetry, Dikla. First, tell us about yourself and what you do.
So for the last 22 years, um, I do theater for young audiences with my partner on stage and in life, Avi Zlicha. We are also parents for 2 children. And we started in 1998. We didn't have intention to establish a theater, but when we met at the university, so Avi had some kind of storytelling session for children with the very famous book Treasure Island. And I told him, if you're doing that, why don't you have a show, a performance, a theater performance for children? And this is how it all started. And after 2 years, it's like the second baby. So this was the first one, Treasure Island. Then after 2 years, we had some idea to make a second performance about Commedia dell'arte, which is an Italian mask comedy from the 16th century. And this is how all started. We got to puppetry only in our third production. And from that moment on, this is the field that fascinated both of us. And this is what we do from then.
All right. I remember I saw you in Vietnam and I saw you again in Manila. In Vietnam, I think that was 2012. And in
Yeah.
Manila, I think it was 2018, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
if you remember. This is my pal. This is Nicolo. Say hi to Dikla.
Hi, Dikla.
Hi.
Shalom.
Shalom, mabuhay.
Yeah, shalom and mabuhay.
He's my friend. He's going to butt in every now and then. Just don't mind him, a little boy. Just curious about your puppetry. What do you want to ask her?
Dikla, what kind of puppets do you have? What kind of puppets do you use?
I use mainly top table puppets. Do you know top
Oh,
table puppets? I
you
can
know,
show you.
Yeah. Okay. Can you show me can you show me now?
Of course. I will bring one of them.
all right. You ask for it, Nicolo. So Dikla's going to get one of the puppets that they use. I believe I saw this kind of puppet. I think I saw, yeah, I believe I saw this character in Manila when you performed at the University of the Philippines.
Yeah, that's right. So um, this is the child from our play When All Was Green that we've been in with it in the Philippines in 2018. And it was a big tour all over the region. We started it in Japan, then we moved to China for 2 months, then we went to the Philippines and we had the opportunity to meet again. And after the Philippines, we went to Hong Kong and Macau, and then we went back to Israel. So this is a top table puppet. It means that it needs some surface like a table to stand.
Hmm. Hmm.
I will put it now here, yeah, on the table. And it has joints, for example, the hands that can move,
Hmm.
the head that can move. And I use
Wow.
these small parts to hold the puppet and to manipulate the puppet. So it means that I have a direct connection with the puppet itself, the material. I don't use strings and any kind of material
Rods.
between me and
Yeah,
the puppet. So this is direct manipulation.
I see. There's no rod, right? No rod or anything.
No, just the small parts, which are very, very minor. Some puppeteers prefer longer parts to hold the puppet, but I got used to it. And
Right.
the movement is very human-like. And
Yeah. Yes, that's so true. The way you manipulate it moves very, very well. Like it has life of its own.
thank you.
Yeah. When I saw this in UP, the University of the Philippines, in Diliman, we were invited by Professor Amihan Ramolete. You remember her?
Of course.
Yeah. The show was awesome. I was surprised because it was just a basic room, not really not really a theater, but the way the show was presented was just like we were in a theater type show. It was very,
Thank
very
you.
well presented. Even the lights, even the staging, everything in the show is perfect.
Thank you so much. I want to mention that this performance, When All Was Green, is a puppetry without words. It's a non-verbal play. So it means that the puppets are the movement and the music that we use and the lights and all the components of theater together, combined together, are creating the full creation, the representation and the way of expression. So, and this is a kind of play, a kind of creation that fascinates me for the last years, because first it can communicate without any language barrier. It can be shown for all the audience around the world, and not because of that, not because just because of that. Also, it allows the audience to think during the performance, because we don't use words, we don't use text that tells them what to think, or we don't use the words. There is no hierarchy in words, and so the audience think and reflects, and this is a kind of process that is unique to a non-verbal puppetry play.
That's right. And as a puppeteer myself, I can tell everyone that what you do is so difficult. You have to be masterful to be able to do a show like the one you do, like this particular puppet, the way you manipulate it. It has to be really, really lifelike to attract the imagination of the audience. And to be able to perform an entire show without words is just so difficult, especially for me. I'm a ventriloquist. I do a lot of talking and everything, and this puppeteer is very talkative. It's the opposite for us. We can't live without words, but the way you perform was really, really well. And I really have to say, for those of you who are not familiar with puppetry, uh, doing a show without words is just so difficult, very, very difficult, and you have to be masterful to be able to do such. All right, now Dikla, who inspired you in the field of puppetry?
Um, we get our inspiration, or I get my inspiration from all kind of art forms, not only puppetry. Um, my my background is from film. I study screenwriting and film, and there are film directors that influenced me. For instance, David Lynch with his first movies like Eraserhead or The Elephant Man. And there are animators that influenced me, like the Czech animator Jan Schwenkmeyer, or I think all kind of creation that illuminates life in a different way, or that make me think about the familiar aspects of life in a new way. This is inspiration for me. It can be also something that I see on the street. And of course, I have also inspiration from the puppetry field, because the reason why I wanted to concentrate on puppetry was because of one journey to London, and I didn't know much about puppetry. But then we went on the street, and we went to the river, and we saw a barge, a kind of boat, and it was written that this is the barge theater. So we bought 2 tickets. We were lucky enough to have tickets, and we went inside the barge, which was a very intimate venue, maybe for 20 or 30 people. And I saw a production of Red Riding Hood, Little Red Riding Hood. It was marionettes that were manipulated in a genius way, and I fell in love. So this is also inspiration for me. This is why I started to work in the puppetry field and to want to make puppetry works.
You saw this in London. Were the puppeteers local?
Yeah, they are a couple from London, from England, and they do that theater for many, many years. And on the river, inside the barge, which is a unique venue. And it was very intimate. It reminded me um, of works that I've seen as a child in puppetry, which I didn't remember until then, and then I remember them. Um, and yes, it was very unique, very unique.
But Dikla,
Also,
when you were in London, were you a puppeteer already or no, not
no,
yet?
not yet.
Oh, I see. All
This
right,
is
I
the
understand. Now I understand.
Yeah, at that time we had the second production with the Commedia dell'arte with the masks. So I didn't know much about puppetry. I knew, but not as much as I know today. But from the moment I saw this performance um,
Right.
of Little Red Riding Hood, and I think that since then, all the travels that we made as puppeteers afterwards, each journey taught us different things that we didn't know. Also, when we met in Vietnam in 2012, I saw all kind of traditional puppetry, and I saw you with your art form, which amazed me because you're very talented in what you're doing, and also the shadow puppetry from, I think it was Laos or maybe it was Cambodia. I don't remember now, and it amazed me, and I saw different kind of expressions. So inspiration in puppetry is endless.
Right. I remember that festival in Vietnam. I think you're referring to the Cambodian shadow puppeteers, the ones with
Yeah,
the big shadow puppets. That's right.
yeah, they
Uh,
hold in their hands, and yeah,
yes, yeah, the puppeteers from Cambodia. We were also with the puppeteers from Laos. They were also very good. As a matter of fact, everybody in the festival did very well, and I believe, if I remember correctly, that was 2012. It was my second international puppetry festival. The first one, I was in Malaysia. We had no language barrier or anything like that, so everything went well. But in Vietnam, it was my first time in Vietnam, and we had a language barrier, and we were we were kind of not expecting it, so we had a little problem. And actually, that inspired me to do marionette. So the next time, no, let me see. The second time we were in Vietnam, we didn't do ventriloquism. We did marionettes because of the
oh,
language barrier. Yeah.
you are so true, because Vietnam was my first international festival.
Oh,
Yeah, and I didn't know until then, I didn't think about the language barrier. We went there with the production name Baron Munchausen, which is a German
right,
story, and we adapted it to stage, and we translated it to English. We learned it in English because in Israel we do it in Hebrew. And
right,
then I realized that as much as we minimize the text, there is a language barrier. And this is something that I wanted to overcome in the next production. So it is so true. Our experiments were almost the same. Yeah.
right. Dikla, refresh my memory. The one you did in Vietnam, is it the one with some sort of a cart, a cart, a wagon?
Yeah, a kind of a wagon. It's like a stall in a fair,
Yes. Yeah, I
inspired by
remember.
European tradition. Yeah, and with
Yeah, I
puppets.
remember.
Actually, I have the puppets here. Would you like me to show you one of them, maybe?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will bring
Because
one of them.
okay, while you're getting the puppets, let me just try to tell everyone what happened in Vietnam. It was 2012. It was if I remember correctly, it was the third International Marionettes Festival in Vietnam. First time I met Dikla and her husband. They did this wonderful puppet show, and Dikla's getting one of the puppets that they used in the act. It was it apparently it was their first. In my case, it was my second puppetry festival, but my first time to encounter language barrier problem, and that inspired me to do marionettes. And let's go back to Dikla. Let's see if she has the puppet already. She has a very There you go.
So this was
Uh-huh.
one of the characters. It's a bulldog bee. It's a combination between a bulldog dog and a bee, and it can fly and walk as well. And
Right.
this was a different technique that we used back then, which combines our limbs, our hands and fingers and wrists, and to complete the illusion of the puppet. It means that if I don't use my hands, it's only a lifeless
Right.
object. But
Yes.
then at the back, I have this space which I can put my hands inside, only two of them, and then the other three fingers, I use them as legs or yeah.
Right. Right.
So, and the other one that we use, another one, was the young deer. So it's a head of a deer with a binky, with a simplifier, and
Right.
we use our two hands as I will show you
The ear. No,
horn.
yeah, yeah, the horn of the deer. Oh, cool.
I oh, just a minute. Okay, now it's yeah, now it's okay. So then we can use this movement that he can look at his sides,
Right.
and also he can walk. Now I don't have here
Mm.
the table to do that, but
Right.
with my
Right.
phone, I use as his body to make the full body illusion. So this was
Right.
in
Right.
2000, in 2012 in Vietnam.
In Vietnam, in Hanoi. Dikla, I
Yeah.
remember there was a part there where you did shadow puppetry, part of the
Yes.
play.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I remember because I find it very impressive and very, very nice. The stage, the cart itself, the wagon itself became a puppet theater.
Yeah, because the stories originally of Baron Munchausen are happening in different parts of the world, also on the moon,
Right,
also in a swamp. So we had to think about a way that this wagon, this stall in a fair, will transform itself into different locations. So we had this part which we used with shadows. It was mainly to express the moments of love, or when the Baron is drowning into a swamp with his horse. And then we had some kind of trees that transformed everything into a wood and then into a castle. And yes, so we had to think about ways that to use the same thing as different locations.
Hey, Dikla, I'm holding my trophy from Vietnam. Do you have yours with you?
Yeah, cheers.
There you go. Cheers. All right.
Yeah,
It's exactly the same. There you go.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have the same with the hands. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That was the 12th. Oh no, second. Sorry, the third
Third.
International Marionettes Festival in Hanoi, and Vietnamese people are very hospitable. We all had fun. You all, and the
Yeah.
shows were all great, and it was a learning experience for us, and probably to most of us. Now, Dikla, let's talk about your performance in the Philippines. You
Yeah.
were here in 2018 in UP. And what was your experience performing for a Filipino crowd?
It was very special because we had the luck to meet different kind of audiences. Because in Diliman at university, we met students, and also we met the parents of Ami Ramulet. And we had the honor to meet them, and then we met you. So it was very exciting to perform at the university. Then we had a second performance in the museum in Manila. I don't remember now the name of the museum. The Children Museum.
Yeah,
or
in Antipolo. It's
yeah,
near my place. Yeah.
yeah. And so it was different kind of audience, only for children. And I think that the audience in the Philippines, um, people were great, really. Even during the performance, the reactions that we received after the performance, the conversation that we had, and the friendship that we made, and it was a great experience. And beside of the performing part in the Philippines and meeting with people, and also we had the luck to take part in JoJo late night.
Oh yeah, yeah. The late night
Yeah,
show with Jojo. Yeah, that's a lot. That was a lot of fun. We had you on the show. I
yeah,
remember my monkey puppet. Hey,
of course.
Dikla, we'll talk more about it, but right now we need to take a break. When we go back, we'll show a video of your famous play, and we'll see more demo of your puppets when we get back. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with Dikla Katz from Tel Aviv, Israel.
Don't leave. We'll be right back. Yee.
Welcome back to the Puppet Stories. I muted my mic. I apologize. We are still with my very good friend Dikla Katz from Tel Aviv, Israel. And before we call her back, we'd like to ask all of you to please do watch all our shows here on TNC. We have the Big Picture, which shares inspiring stories of notable personalities, streams daily, Mondays to Fridays, 7 p.m. HR Hotline introduces us to the wonderful world of human resources management, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 1 p.m. iBusiness is about insights and how you can own a business, streaming live from Tennessee and Texas in the USA on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, or Wednesdays and Fridays, 9:30 a.m. Philippine Time. The fourth project is about life, business, and success. Streaming live from Dubai, UAE, 7 p.m. or 11 p.m. Philippine Time. Discover your life purpose and learn from others' turnaround stories by tuning in to U Turn. Mondays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. The Home Buyer is where you hear remarkable stories about building and owning a property. Streams Mondays and Thursdays 4 p.m. Magbenta, bumili at tumulong dahil bukas na ang TNC Marketplace, an online night bazaar live streams on Thursdays and Fridays at 10 p.m. Two leaders in one platform in every episode. TNC The Talk streams every Monday at 12 noon. After Shift is about your choices and our lives after work. This chillaxing show streams Wednesdays and Fridays 8:30 p.m. Usapang Beauty is about beauty beyond what your eyes can see. Stream Saturdays and Thursdays 5:30 p.m. YOLO is the newest addition to our list of shows. This show is for all of us to understand the law, that the law is fun and especially cool too. Streams Mondays and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. We also have TNC original shows such as One Day, a 30-minute show which profiles unique and inspiring stories of real life people. It alternates with TNC Town Hall, which is co-hosted by TNC founders Lloyd Luna and Apple Manansala. This platform is where we talk to you, our valued audience, on feedback about our shows on TNC. Other TNC shows occasionally stream, such as TNC Press Con, TNC Arena, and TN Cinema. Our upcoming shows: Win Within, Danny Art Show, The Family Business, Money and More, Rainbow Time, Learn Together, The Franchise, At Your Service, The Frontliner, and many, many more shows coming on the new channel. Do watch out for those shows. All right, let's welcome back from Tel Aviv, Israel, from the Key Theater, Dikla Katz. Welcome back, Dikla.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk more about your performance in Manila, because I remember we brought you to this TV show and we talk about your puppetry art, and that particular episode is still in the internet playing and still getting a lot of viewers. And now you're here with us, so maybe you can tell us more about your experiences as far as Filipinos are concerned, and how we reacted to your performance.
Um, all the tour that we had at that time, that also we came to the Philippines, we came also as a family. So beside performing in different parts in the Philippines, mainly Manila, we also had a special performance in a hospital in Makati.
Ah,
And yeah, and for another place, only for, it was a kind of a shelter for young girls. And we had a very exciting experience also as a family, because the audience were great to us. People were very generous and very nice and very welcoming, and also as a family, because I think that and the people in the Philippines are very family oriented. So we felt very welcome as a family, as a traveling family. And we also were very lucky to experience different kind of culture, to see different kinds of places. You have a beautiful country, also outside Manila. We had the luck to travel also outside Manila. And really, it was a very rich, very intense experience. I think that we stay in the Philippines for 2 weeks. It was in general, and we enjoyed every minute. And we look forward to come back.
thank you, thank you. I'm glad you had fun in the Philippines, not only in Manila, but I remember you went to was it Bacolod, or you remember the
We
place?
we went to Bohol.
Oh, Bohol. I'm sorry. Yeah, Bohol. Bohol is a
Bohol.
nice place.
We went to the volcan mountain. I forgot the name.
In
Uh,
Bohol,
no, not in Bohol. In the north, maybe. No, not in Bohol. It's a different place. I forgot.
maybe
Tal.
did you go to
Tal.
Bicol? Maybe that's Taal. Oh yeah, you went to Taal. Yeah, it
Yeah,
erupted early this year. I don't know if you
really.
heard in the news. Yeah, Taal erupted early this year, just maybe 3 weeks before we had the lockdown. So,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, Taal
But
erupted. Anyway, Dikla, we are so excited to see a demo of your puppetry art. Before the demo, would you like us to show your video first, or would you like the video to go after the demo?
we can maybe see the video first, as you like.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I think the video would be nice so that everybody will have an idea how your performance is. Reckon we showed the video of what's the title of your play? When
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 all was green.
when all was green, and I saw this when they performed this in UP through the invitation of my good friend Professor Amihan Bonifacio Ramolete. Ah, and you were telling me, Dikla, that you also met the mother of Professor Ramolete.
Yeah.
That's Professor um, Amelia Bonifacio, who was declared Philippine National Artist late last year.
Wow. It was an honor to meet her and to perform at the university. And also, she gave us a book that she wrote. Um,
Ah,
and it was a very special experience. This
right.
performance, yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go describe.
um,
Tell us what's happening now on the
yeah,
video.
uh, we can hear the music, or maybe it will interrupt. I don't know. This performance is a non-verbal puppetry play, accompanying with live with the original music that was composed especially for the performance, and we worked. The process was almost 2 years that we work on this production because we had to figure out, when we realized that we want to do it without words, we had to figure out how to develop the plot, how to express every intention that we had. And this was a kind of a laboratory that we experienced and explored all kind of expression. Um, Everything that you see on stage, the tree and the puppets and the stage itself, the objects and everything was made from paper, from books that we collected in the streets of Tel Aviv, and we recycled those books into the set and the puppets and the objects. In Tel Aviv, we had this habit: when people doesn't want their books anymore, they put them on benches, and then other people can take them and enjoy, give them a new home. So we collected books that were damaged, that nobody could read in them anymore. The reason why we decided to make this performance from paper, from books, was because we found a strong equivalent between paper and trees. Because before a paper was a paper, it was a tree. And
Right.
it's the cycle of the material. And also this performance deals with the cycle of life. It's about a boy that becomes a teenager and an adult and an old man, and all the choices that he makes in his life and the price that he has to pay for those choices. Um, it was inspired by The Giving Tree, which is an American book for children written by Shel Silverstein. We took the main structure of the plot and we adapted it differently. We gave it also different interpretation. And what we're seeing now is the old man that is returning to the tree after he left him as a child. After many years in the city, is going back to his home, to the nature, but something is changed,
Right.
something completely different. And at the beginning is taking part of the tree to make a bench to sleep on. Afterwards, he makes a roof over his head, but then he's making a very wrong choice when he's, maybe I should not tell you, or maybe I should, is selling the tree for money.
Oh,
And at that moment, when he's passing the limit, when he's making the choice out of greed and not because of a necessity, he's losing almost everything that he had, that he achieved. And at the back, at the end of the performance, he's going back to the tree as an old man. And I think that he is regretting. And we ended this performance with a sign of hope, because although the tree was cut off almost completely, he is growing slowly a new branch to maybe give a hope for the future, that even though that bad choices are made, maybe always, maybe sometimes we have a chance to fix what we've done and to
right,
make
right.
a new beginning.
Beautiful.
Thank
This is
you.
so beautiful, Dikla. Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, I hope you can watch this in the future. This is a very, very special show. I saw it once in UP, and it was just fantastic. Okay,
Thank
the feeling you have after watching the show is you want to do something about the environment, and as a puppeteer, you want to do something even more special than just doing a cabaret show. It's just pretty special, Dikla, and
thank you so
my
much.
hope, I wish, is that for other Filipinos to be able to watch it in the future.
Thank you. We hope so too. We hope to come back.
Yeah, Dikla. Aside from the Philippines and you said you went to Taiwan, I believe. Which other countries have you brought this particular play to?
Until today, until the COVID-19, which temporarily closed the sky and the world, we've been with When All Was Green in more than 30 countries. Um, the first country that we traveled was Turkey. The second one was Hungary. And then from that moment on, we've been again in more than 30 countries in South America, in Europe, in Asia, in Africa, in different kind of venues. We performed inside monasteries, inside theater venues,
Right.
inside
Cool.
um, really so many places. We are very lucky to do that because we met so many great people, and we were lucky to meet new cultures, to learn about different places, about how people are living. And we had the luck to do most of the travels with our two children, that also met many people, made many friendships, learned new languages even. And this is the story.
All right, Dikla. Thank you. I'm sure those people who saw the play feel as lucky because they've seen the show. Now, Dikla, we have before we take a break, we have a few people who'd like to say hello to you. One of our hosts on TNT, Carmine Ortega, says that is so unique. We love it, Dikla. We also
Thank
have Mami Hikvan, who's watching from Santa Rosa, Laguna. Dante Salamat, another host on TNC, says hello. And Yen Yen Mancha is watching. Bopet Guanzon is watching from Surigao City. Jeru Alfonso is watching. Thea Pamela Domingo is watching. Hi, Teacher Rhea. And Saito. It's a rainy afternoon here, watching from Sampaloc, Manila. Konnichiwa. I think that's hello in Japanese.
you.
All
Yes,
right, Dikla, we'll take a break first. Again, it's time for another gap. It's when we go back, you will tell everyone your puppet story, and probably before that, just a quick demo. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
Hi, ito po si Jojoy. I'm inviting you to watch the Puppet Stories with Wanlu. That is my new favorite TV show on TNC, the new channel. Every Tuesdays and Fridays, 5 p.m. po yan with Wanlu. Very interesting, very informative, very entertaining. The Puppet Stories with Wanlu on the TNC.
Thank you very much, Jojoy, and welcome back to the Puppet Stories. We are still with my very good friend from Tel Aviv, Israel, Dikla Katz of the Key Theater. And Dikla, show us a little demo of one of your puppets before we ask you our final question, before we end the show.
Okay, so I have a very special puppet with me because the premiere that's supposed to be in July and postponed to October and then was cancelled, it's about this puppet, which is the main character. So this is Max, and Max is a bear that was captured. The story was that it was captured as a cab and was brought to the circus. And the play, which is called Don't Poke the Bear, it's about the dark side of the circus. And as I said before, that we are fascinated about a nonverbal puppetry. This is a nonverbal play, but for adults, because it's very dark and it deals with the complicated matters that are about oppression, about lack of freedom, about controlling other people or maybe depriving them from their freedom. And Max was constructed by a very talented puppeteer. Her name is Maria Gurevich, and I don't know if you can see, but he has teeth. He can open his mouth. His pose are almost realistic, looks very realistic, and he's very big. I can maybe show
it's very
how big.
big. And it's
How big.
almost lifelike.
Yeah, it is. And so actually, I am not so familiar with the full range of his movements because as the premiere was postponed, we let him rest for a while and we decided to take a break until we will know better when the premiere will be. I think it will be at the end of 2020 or maybe at the beginning of 2021. And so I can show, maybe I can show if we have time a second puppet, or I don't know if we have enough time or not.
Yeah, go ahead. Do show us one more puppet, please.
Okay. So
because we're all very interested we're all very interested in puppetry arts from all over the world. This time we're seeing puppets from Israel. Go ahead, Dikla. Show us one more.
So this is the second character. It's an aging chimpanzee female named Tina.
That looks so nice.
Thank you.
Wow.
And I can show her full body. Her movement is also, we asked Maria to create possibilities of movement which will allow us to express how a chimpanzee in the circus is moving and making all the numbers as an acrobat. And so we have opportunities here to manipulate each part of the puppet. Right now you can see me as the puppeteer, but our intention in the performance is to be hidden. So the audience will see only the puppets. So this is also very challenging to make the special set that will allow us to hide behind it and only manipulate the puppets, to use a very special lighting. And so this is Tina.
Hi, Tina.
Hi, Tina. She's old.
She is an aging chimp, right? And this particular play is totally different from when all was green, right? All is green. Because in that play, we can see you and your husband, but this time you're going to be hidden. So totally different, right?
Yes, actually, it's very challenging to hide ourselves completely. There are many traditional puppetry around the world that are traditionally hiding the puppeteers, but we never did that. We never used this technique, and we have a very specific shape of the stage, which we have to take into consideration technically. So when we'll go back to working on that, we have many challenges. Yeah.
All right, Dikla, we wish you all the best for that particular play. Very, very nice puppets, and I'm sure the show is going to be really, really awesome. Thank you very much for showing us those puppets.
Thank you.
Dikla, before we end the show, it's a question that we ask all the guests on the show. So we'd like to ask the same question. Dikla Katz, what is your puppet story?
My puppet story is to create works that will inspire people to look differently at their surroundings, maybe to look differently about familiar aspects of life, and to understand the complicities, because life is complicated and it has a lot of things that we see on the surface but we don't see under the surface. So this is my main puppet story, to inspire people to see the complicity in life and to rethink about their life.
Thank you very much. Dikla Katz from Tel Aviv, Israel. And if that's your story, I really need to tell you that uh, you're you're actually fulfilling it because you've inspired this particular puppeteer and my family. By the way, my son Eli says hello to your son Michael and
Michael said
everybody
it.
in the family.
Yeah.
And you've inspired everybody in that particular room that day when we saw you in UP. Even even Jojo A, good friend of mine, when he interviewed you, said your act is very special and your family is very special.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here and to hear all those compliments, and also to have this connection, because I feel that we are a global community, all the puppeteers, and we are like a family. We met twice, but the connection is very strong, and we have the puppetry in common, but not only puppetry. So I feel very lucky to have you as my friend and to be a part of the global puppetry community and to keep it alive, although that now due to the COVID-19 we have all kind of difficulties, but I know that things will go back to normal or to a new form of life very soon, and I cannot wait to meet again.
Same here, Dikla. We hope to see you and your family again. Hopefully
Thank you.
soon. Hopefully when this is all over. In the meantime, Dikla, keep safe
Thank you.
and may your family be safe as well. Thank you very much for
Thank
being in the show. It's an honor for us and for the new channel to have you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
you.
Shalom.
All right, that was Dikla Katz, playwright and the co-founder of the Key Theater in Tel Aviv, Israel. Nakita ko po sila when they were in Manila. Fantastic show. Ladies and gentlemen, konti na lang ang oras namin kaya bibilisan na namin to. In celebration of Buwan ng Wikang Pambansa ay tutuloy po natin yung pagbasa nitong Ang Batang Gustong Maging Papet. 2 page lang po ang babasahin ko ngayon. Actually, teka. Oo, ayan, 1 page lang. Dalawa. 2 page lang po para naman next week tapusin na natin kasi we don't have much time. Okay? So tuloy po natin dito sa page 15. Ready ka na?
Ay, ako, kanina ko to inaabangan yan eh.
Naku, napunit pa yata, Nicolo. Ay, naku, tinunit mo. Hindi, natanggal lang. O, ayan. Okay, huwag ka malikot ha. Basahin ko na ha.
O, sige po.
Ang batang gusto maging puppet. Samantala, si Nicolo ay tuwang-tuwa dahil isa na siyang puppet, gaya ng pinapangarap niya at ipinapanalangin niya. Galak na galak siya, ngunit teka, sabi ni Nicolo, sa isip niya. Bakit hindi ako makagalaw ngayong hindi na ako hawak ni Mang Elias? Hindi ko maibuka ang bibig ko. Hindi ko maitaas ang mga kamay at paa ko. Hindi ako makagalaw. Yan. Hindi siya nakagalaw. O ganun talagang puppet. Pag hindi ginagalaw ng puppeteer, di ba dinemonstrate ni Dikla kanina, it's the puppeteer that makes the puppet moves. Without the puppeteer, the puppet will just be, well, it will just be a toy seated on a chair or placed on a table. Walang mangyayari.
Ay, ganun po ba yun? Eh, duty ta ako, ginagalaw ako kahit walang tatitir.
Ay nako, saka na natin pag-usapan niya, wala tayong oras ha. Okay, tuloy ko lang ha, second page. Naalala niya bigla na hiniling niya sa Diyos na maging puppet siya. Kaya marahil ay ibinigay sa kanya ang kahilingan niya. Agad siyang nalungkot. Nagsisi ng mamalayan niya na marahil ay hindi na siya makakauwi sa nanay niya at hindi na siya makakapag-aral. Muli siyang nanalangin sa Diyos. Ayan, makita lang natin. Ayan. So nanalangin siya ulit sa isip niya. Okay, next episode, ladies and gentlemen, tatapusin na po natin yung libro. Ito na po yung part na sinulat nila Mikey, Hannah, at ni Harriet. Yung tatlong bata na nagsulat ng ending. That will be on Friday, God willing, as we show you the ending of Ang Batang Gustong Maging Puppet. Okay?
Okay po.
Okay, that's all the time we have for all of you this evening. Please don't forget, if you need a puppeteer for your kiddie parties or special events, you can always call us. We have the circus theme show. We also have other themes like the dinosaur puppet show and the animal safari puppet show. This is, of course, happening through Zoom, and it's going to be exclusive to your family and to your virtual online guests. Again, it's our virtual kiddie party show. Next week, we will be joined by another puppeteer. We're 3 episodes shy of our season 1, Nicola. Next episode, we will have Miss Anna Fabuli. She's a shadow puppeteer from Germany. So we'll have her on Friday here on the Puppet Stories, God willing. All right. Again, that's all the time we have for all of you. But before I forget, mamaya po after the show, around 7 p.m.,
Opo, si Tito Lloyd. Yan, Tito Lloyd. Sa The Big Picture.
tama. And it's the 6th season already.
6 season na to.
Season 6 ng The Big Picture with Lloyd Luna. Do watch out for it. Streams live at around 7 p.m. this evening. In the meantime, thank you for joining us this evening. Again, thank you to our special guest, Dikla Katz, the Key Theater from Tel Aviv, Israel.
Huwag niyong kalimutan mga data. Pagkagising, nanalangin. Bago natulog, nanalangin. Bago kumain, nanalangin. Lahat ng gagawin natin, itagtagudilin natin sa Diyos.
Alright. Yan lang po muna. See you all next episode, God willing. In the meantime, may the Lord keep us all safe. Bye.